Okay, let's keep practicing for our story that we've been working on about Benny and the bike he wants for his birthday. Some of you, we've already, in our phone call, gone over these questions, but I'd like to just review them. They use this vocabulary. This is our key vocabulary, the most important vocabulary from our story. So we start with the word walks, which would be letter B here. Bike or bicycle, letter M. In this picture, it's a red bike. Remember, Benny sometimes wants a red bike, but then he ends up getting a blue bike. Birthday, that pronunciation is important. Birthday would be letter G. Number 4, choose. A. Letter A is choose. Which one would you choose? I choose door 1 or door 2. Number 5, cost or price. Those are cognates. So you can see that cost looks like cuesta and price kind of looks like precio. So those are cognates, the same in English as in Spanish. Letter C is our picture for that. Number 6, eighth. Letter H. So 8th grade, February 8th. That's one of our ordinal numbers. Number 7, elementary. D. Remember in English we say elementary school. We don't say like just school because colegio is high school. So the word school is in both. Elementary. 8, 3rd grade. 3rd grade. 3rd grade, letter L, is a grade in elementary school. Number 9, library, letter J. Libraries have lots of books, and we usually see a library in a school, in an elementary school or in a high school. Number 10, wants. F. The picture F represents wants. It translates to quiere. Wants. Benny wants a red bike for his birthday. Number 11, raincoat, E. This is a picture of a yellow raincoat. Number 12, umbrella. We can see that letter K represents umbrella for when it's raining or sunny. And last, letter I. And I have this picture of a dog wearing clothing. 13, letter I, wear. Awesome. So we will be practicing these questions a little more in our next phone call. So number 1, we have, do you have a bike? Yes, I do have a bike. My bike is green. Number 2, when it is raining, do you wear a raincoat or carry an umbrella? I carry an umbrella. Number 3, do you prefer to walk or to ride a bike? I prefer to ride a bike. Number 4, when you go to the library, what genre of book do you usually choose? Fiction, nonfiction, biography, romance, mystery? Number 5, what were you like in the 3rd grade? Describe yourself. Maybe you would have been 9 or 10 years old. Number 6, in your opinion, what is a good price for a new phone? So if you were to buy a new phone, what would be a good price? And I will send you these slides from my presentation. Numbers, which one would be a good price? I'll send you this slide. $100, $400. Tell me what you think would be a good price for a new phone. You may also use your opinion words, which we find on this slide. In my opinion, or I think that, or I agree. These would be possibilities to describe, in your opinion, what is a good price for a new phone. Awesome, so we'll talk about those. Last class, we did this fill in the blank activity. So let's read the story again, paying attention. I'm going to pause. Let's see here. Okay, so let's read this together. January 7th is Benny's birthday. He will be 8 years old. He's in the 3rd grade. He goes to Park Elementary School. An elementary school is for kids. It is only 1 mile away. He walks to school. It only takes 20 minutes. When it rains, he wears a raincoat. He used to take an umbrella, but he lost the umbrella. Perdió, lost the umbrella. His mother gave him another umbrella. He broke that one. His mom said, "You and umbrellas don't get along." For his 8th birthday, Benny wants a bicycle. He can ride the bike to school. After school, he can ride with his friends. He can ride the bike to the swimming pool. He can ride the bike to the library. His mom and dad took him to the bike store. They asked him to look at the bikes. He looked at all of the bikes. He chose a red bike. He showed his parents. Dad said it cost too much. He told Benny to choose a different bike. Benny chose a blue bike. Dad said the blue bike was the right price. That's our story. So we did true and false last class. Now let's talk about the elements of a story. Elements of a story are the parts of a story, the important pieces of the story. We are going to talk about 5 story elements. Just like here, this hand has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers. We will talk about 5 story elements. First, the plot. Second, the characters. Third, the setting. Fourth, the conflict. And fifth, the solution. At the very end, we'll discuss a personal reaction. So, for Benny's bike, let's start here. Skipping ahead, we'll do Benny's bike in a minute. Let's start with Caperucita Roja, okay, or the Little Red Riding Hood. If we look here, for the plot, the first element of a story, these would be some good examples. Little Red Riding Hood walks through the woods to her grandmother's house. The wolf eats the grandma and wears her clothes. The plot has important information. This is not important. Little Red Riding Hood has long hair and likes to eat. Not important, not the plot. Okay? For our homework, we will discuss which example of the story of the Little Red Riding Hood would be a good plot. Plot 1. Little Red Riding Hood has brown eyes. The grandma is old and has short hair. Little Red Riding Hood walks to visit her grandma and carries a basket of food. The grandma's house is small. A wolf eats the grandma and wants to eat Little Red Riding Hood. The wolf is lazy and rude. Is that important? Yes or no? Or plot 2. Little Red Riding Hood walks to her grandma's house. A wolf eats the grandma and wants to eat Little Red Riding Hood. Fortunately, a man saves Little Red Riding Hood and her grandma. We will choose letter 2, plot 2, not letter, number 2. Plot 2 is the better choice. It has the most important information. In the plot, the fact that the grandma is old and has short hair is not the most important. The grandma's house is small is not important to the plot. But when the wolf eats the grandma and wants to eat Little Red Riding Hood, that's important for the plot. Okay? So an example of the hand for Little Red Riding Hood would be plot. Little Red Riding Hood walks to her grandma's house. A wolf eats the grandma and wants to eat Little Red Riding Hood. Fortunately, a man saves Little Red Riding Hood and her grandma. Hooray, that's the story, the plot, the important information. Second, number 2 is a little easier. Characters, the people in the story. Little Red Riding Hood. What is she like? Fearful, irresponsible, silly. There's a wolf, and the wolf is kind of lazy. And a grandma, old and fearful. Those are the 3 main characters of Little Red Riding Hood, or the people, and adjectives to describe them. Setting, it happens in the woods or in the bosque, right? And grandma's house. Conflict, there is a wolf. The wolf eats the grandma. The wolf wants to eat Little Red Riding Hood. That is the conflict or the problem. In Spanish, we can see it's a cognate with the word in English. Conflict, conflicto. Conflict, conflicto. They sound the same. Yikes. So conflict is the problem. And solution. How do we resolve the problem? Solution. A man saves Little Red Riding Hood and her grandma. The man kills the wolf. This is an example of the hand for Little Red Riding Hood. Then for personal reaction, we would say, I think that the grandma is, or I think it is sad that the wolf eats the grandma. In my opinion, Little Red Riding Hood should have attacked the wolf. I don't like the story Little Red Riding Hood. It seems to me that the problem isn't believable. Good. So that's a review of the hand. Now let's look at our Benny's birthday story. We are going to try to fill out the hand, the plot, the characters, the setting, the conflict, the solution, and our personal reaction for the story of Benny's birthday. What would be the important information that would be the plot? Is it important that January 7th is Benny's birthday? Probably not. Is it important that Benny lost his umbrella? Not really. That's not very important information to the story. However, is it important that for his 8th birthday, Benny wants a bicycle? Yes, that is important. So we might put, Benny wants a bicycle, etc. For your homework, please fill out the 5 story elements as best as you can for this story, and we will review it next class. Good luck.